Right guys, so welcome back to a new episode on this KX85 series. What we've got here is front wheel bearings. We're going to be installing front wheel bearings. So you put everything on, just so you don't lose everything. And doing something like bearings, you want to be organised, get all the right tools. Socket that is the same diameter as this bearing. Claw hammer, or just any sort of hammer. I need a chisel or a flat end screw. Got myself a flat end screwdriver, a claw hammer. I need some grease as well. I've just moved you onto my little tripod. I don't know if you can see this, but you have a seal on the outer edge, then you have a circlip which sits in a groove, and then obviously you got the bearing itself. In the middle of this hub, you've got a spacer, and you come to the other side, and it's got the same exact thing, but on the other side you haven't got a circlip. What you want to start doing is getting your seals out. So what I've got here is a rag, a flat end screwdriver, so I can get that. Just pry that seal out, just like so. And give it a little. Get rid of that grease. And what I suggest you doing is you get a heat gun, and when you do take these bearings out, when I take this bearing out, I'll get a heat gun and just heat around it, just so that it softens up the metal, aluminium a little bit. It just makes it easier getting the bearing out. I'll get this circlip out with a little bit of help. I managed to get them out. I have bagged it all up. I've kept the old oil seals because of reference, and I've run into a little bit of a problem. So basically I haven't actually ordered the new bearings up. I thought I did, but obviously I didn't. I ordered the rear bearings. I ordered the new rear bearings up. So yeah, I managed to take the circlip out, which obviously sits disc side, which is, it's a little groove. There's a little groove here, circlip sits in, and then obviously you got your bearing, keeps the bearing in place. You got your spacer, which is actually not that bad, it's in good nick. And yeah, basically what I had to do is I had to hold the wheel up, obviously get a flat end screwdriver, just to pry the spacer offset to the bearing. I could give it a little tap and finally get that bearing out, and obviously it frees up the other one. A bit frustrating, but you can do it. Right guys, so what we've got here, we've taken out all the rear bearings, 2 bearings on the sprocket side, and then 1 bearing on the disc side. We're just clearing up the bolts in a minute because they're a bit rusty. Hannah wipes it, give everything good clean. And we've got to install the new bearings. Taking all the old ones out, new seals, and we've got some grease as well. Multi-purpose. An absolute joke getting these out because there's so much power going through the back wheel. A lot more force to get these ones out. What we also had to do is heat up the hub, which softens the spacer that's in between it, which is there. Softens that up a little bit, which you can pry this to one side, offset it. Yeah, right, so what I'm going to do now is clear this axle bolt up and re-grease the whole lot. And it's looking mint. Brand new. So, I've just cleaned up my wheels a little bit more because the polish that I applied to the aluminium was obviously stuck to the wheels, so I've got all that off. Yeah, bearings out. Cleared up all the axle bolt, cleared up the spacer. It wasn't really that dirty anyway, but just got rid of all the rust with a wire brush as best I can. So yeah, that is where I'm at. Right, so the first thing, you want to make sure you've got gloves on, get your grease, start applying it to the inner edge of the hub. Socket, seems like I need to get a smaller socket because it keeps hitting the outer edge of the hub. Going hitting all the way around the socket, so it goes in square. This can be a bit time consuming when you are doing something like this, but it's part of the process. So you want to get your second bearing, re-grease the hub up, and line your bearing up like so. The snap ring, the circlips go in, which is over here. You're going to make it so you have enough room for that circlip to go in. I need to get my pliers. I will let you guys know when I've got this back in. So guys, circlip is in, the two bearings are in. Looking mint. Absolutely mint. So this side's done, let's move on to the disc side. Right, so while I forget guys, I might as well just stick this new oil seal on the end like that. So what I've done here guys is I've just propped the wheel up a bit. I'm going to stick that extra bolt through, just give you an alignment to see where your spacer sits. You're going to grease the two ends of this spacer, oil seal, and yeah, that'd be the end of the installation on the rear wheel bearings. Right guys, I'm all complete. The axle is through, all bearings installed. Pretty easy to be fair. I've never done this sort of thing before. I'm not a mechanic, but this is just a project of mine. Yeah, you want to get the new bearings in, re-grease everything, re-grease the hub. Just make sure you don't get that spacer out correctly. You don't want to be using a flattened screwdriver like I've been and just muller it. Thank God I haven't mullered it, but yeah, you want to get an extension bar or something which has a bit of a flat edge to it, so you can offset that spacer and tap the bearing out. Yeah, I'm going to carry on, get a wire brush around this disc, and then yeah, take off the rust. Yeah, I haven't got the new bearings for this wheel, hasn't turned up yet, but I probably won't show it in this video, but you've obviously done it to one, you've seen me install this, so it's self-explanatory. This one obviously has 3 bearings, this one has obviously 2, because there's more force going through this one than there is this one. So yeah, that is the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you did get some value out of this video. If you did, feel free to subscribe, like the video, do what you have to do, and yeah, see you in the next one.